Welcome to the WIHS Journal. On the broadcast with me today is Dave Ewens. He's one of the facilitators for Celebrate Recovery, which has began their meetings. Listen up for all the details. I know that we talked a few weeks ago, and I know that you started your group. So tell us, have a lot more people have been participating since COVID-19?
Yes, it's been better than we expected. We expected that we would have lost about half of our normal population, but we've got about 2/3 of them back, and we have an open what we call a big meeting, although big is relative to the size of the organization of the group. But
yeah.
And we have open share groups afterwards, which some people go home. Well, they haven't been going home, and the open share groups have been at 100%, and the depth of the sharing has been better than ever. So we're very happy about what is happening. Obviously, we are still needed.
Yep, that's awesome. I love to hear that.
Probably more than ever.
I bet, everything that's going on worldwide. So for people who don't know, maybe they never heard, about Celebrate Recovery, just kind of give us a quick definition of what it is.
Okay, Celebrate Recovery is a Christ-centered 12-step program, like AA, NA, those things. The difference is that Jesus Christ is our higher power. He's not anonymous.
Yep.
among us. And also, we deal with all hurts, habits, and hang-ups, so that any problem that a person has in their personal life, or they can come and share about it, and nobody will condemn them. Nobody will laugh at them. It's wide open. So, hurts are things like abuse, abandonment, divorce, things that happen to us in the course of life because we live in a sinful, broken world. We are all broken people living in a broken world. Hang-ups are ways of coping with our pain that may work for a while, but they are detrimental in the long run, and we want to get rid of them. And, of course, habits are things like addictions to not just alcohol and drugs, but to sex, to shopping, to codependency is an addiction. It's all sorts of things, gambling, you name it.
Yeah.
There's a whole list.
Yeah.
And so we deal with those things. We support people. We do not offer therapy. We support. We listen respectfully. We don't question. We don't at least officially we don't make suggestions. We support people. And we have a curriculum that we offer during our big meetings, alternated with testimonies.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, I know that the meetings meet at a particular time. I know right now you're not doing the potluck dinner because of the coronavirus. So tell our listeners, how do your meetings unfold, and, tell us a little bit about the curriculum.
Right. Yes, we start at 7 o'clock. The doors open at 6:15. We don't hang around inside before like we used to, but we do open the doors at 6:15. There's a health check and masks and physical distancing in honor of the situation, and then we have worship and either a lesson or a testimony. This week is a testimony, a guest testimony. And then we have lessons which are based on the 12 steps, biblically based on the 12 steps. the 8 principles, which are derived from the Beatitudes. That curriculum is 25 lessons in a year, and we had to interrupt that for the plague, so we're a little bit behind, but picked up where we left off, and we're just proceeding.
So if a listener's thinking, I love to come to the Celebrate Recovery group and, bond and meet other people because they are, maybe having a hurt habit or hang up. So tell us how you're implementing the social distancing and all that stuff.
All right. Well, we had to move our location because our location was a little bit too snug. Yep. Let's put it. We weren't able to physically distance there. I like physically distance rather than socially distance. We're socially we're the forever family, but physically we're 6 feet apart, and we're now meeting in the sanctuary of the big building, of the regular sanctuary. We're in one section of it with a second one for overflow. And we're in alternating pews so that we don't cross-pollinate with anyone else.
Yeah.
And there's at least 36 hours gap between when we're there and when someone else is there. There's sanitizer all over the place, and special protocols in the bathroom that you don't even want to know. And they use such strong chemicals that you have to watch what you touch. And of course, we do require masks throughout the whole program. The only people that get to take their masks off, in spite of what we say, and it's a place to take off your mask. It's awkward, yes. We have to there's a breach of anonymity, and that we have to take down phone numbers in case of contact tracing issues. If there's an issue, then we have to call everybody that was there that night. The other part of safety is that there's no condemnation. Confidential.
Amen.
So you're not likely to be hurt. You can open up and take off your mask figuratively.
Yep.
Without fear.
Well, if you're just tuning in right now, this is Dave Ewens. And for those who are interested, maybe, Dave, you can provide the details of how to get in contact with you or even where you guys are now meeting. Okay.
We are at 218 Main Street in Manchester. That is the big building. It's in the back. The new church. It's fairly easy to find. You can just walk in. There's no registration necessary. You just have to come a little early and go through the process, which is as friendly as possible. My number is 860-432-8251. My email is PROF, as in prof, Dave, as in Dave, 8 @cox.net.
Thank you so much for sharing your heart. Anything that last words you want to encourage our listeners about before we close today's broadcast?
Yes, don't struggle alone. There are 8 groups currently meeting in person in Connecticut, and there's another 10 groups that are meeting online, so you can get in contact with them at the national website. There's a meeting finder there under celebraterecovery.com.
Once again, that was Dave Ewens from Celebrate Recovery, letting you know that they began their meetings. For more details about this broadcast, call WIHS at 860-346-1049. The opinions expressed are those of the participants, not necessarily those of a staff and management of a station. I'm Anissa Porticelli for News and Public Affairs.